Hey everybody, welcome to Q&A video number 46. Make sure to keep asking questions, doesn't matter they're about, they can be about anything. Just know I don't respond to review requests or Let's Play requests in these videos, but I will respond to them in the comments. You can post your questions in the comments below, you can send them to me via PM, or you can put them in the appropriate section of the forums or on my Steam group. There's a discussion topic available for that. Gameplay in the background is of Magicka, because I've just been playing it recently again and felt like, why not, I'll make a video of it. Bear with me, I'm having a hard time talking today for some reason, I don't know why. But, anyway. First question of the day is from Von Steiner. What do you think of how DLC is done these days? I don't like it. I feel like it's nickel and diming for the most part, particularly when it's all cosmetic DLC, or they throw in tons and tons and tons of DLC that you don't really need, and you just look at it and you're going, why did you put this in DLC? And, occasionally there's something I'll get, like the DLCs for Dungeons of Dreadmore I actually got, because they actually add to the game and they're pretty reasonably priced, and so I'm like, why not? But you gotta remember, I come from an era where the norm was expansion packs, and these were essentially standalone games, only they were add-ons to what you already had, and so they required the base game to run. At least in a lot of cases they were. If they weren't, then we got mad at them for it, because it was just like, oh, this isn't enough content to justify the price. Now, with modern DLC, the prices are lower, but the content is still lacking in most ways, and you just sit there going, would I really pay this much for this? At least that's the way I feel like it. And so, as a result, I just don't like it. It's something I have to get used to, and I still haven't gotten used to. So I don't normally buy DLCs. Next one is from El Cabron del Patron. I've heard you ranting so much over Blizzard and on StarCraft and Diablo, but I never heard you bashing Warcraft 3. Any reason? Do you play it or played it? I only played the demo of Warcraft 3, so I didn't really have much of an idea of what that plays like. And I hated StarCraft. Just that game just sickens me, just to think about it, to be honest with you. Just because that's how infuriating it is. But anyway, I just find Diablo extremely boring, so that didn't really help. But I don't really speak much about Blizzard because I don't really care for them at all. I find that their games are merely average at best, and they're well polished, sure, but they're just average at best. And why people get so up in arms over them and think they're the best thing ever is just completely beyond me. So, in the case of Warcraft 3 specifically, it's just because I haven't played much of it apart from the demo, and I just found it to be eh. It's eh. What else is there to say about it? Next one is from Lord Chaos. How do you feel about Resident Evil and Metal Gear turning into pure action games? Doesn't really bother me. In the case of Metal Gear, they've done it in a spin-off with Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, which is a ridiculous title, but at least it's a spin-off. In the case of Resident Evil, they've turned the full series into just plain action games, and I've never really cared for this series. The only one I actually liked was Resident Evil 4, and the rest of them I was just like, whatever. I don't really care. So, that's more of a just not caring attitude, whereas with Metal Gear, it's just something that, at least it's a spin-off, rather than the stealth part of the series actually becoming pure action, which it's almost at that point now, and it's just kind of like, not sure if I like that or not. Anyway, moving on to a question from Undead Crisis. Do you like learning curves in games? Well, yeah. I don't like learning cliffs, though. By that, I mean where you're expected to know everything immediately as soon as you start the game, whether it's on the lowest difficulty or not. And then you spend the next couple of hours just raging at the game because it didn't tell you anything and blah, blah, blah. I hate when that happens. I don't mind learning curves because that's a pretty natural way of playing a game. It's supposed to be you introduce ideas and then you expand upon those, and the more you expand upon these ideas, the more comfortable the player is going to get with them. And so when you get to a certain point, the player does not feel like there's this ridiculous difficulty setting or something like that that is impeding progress. It's just the player messing up or something like that. And it's like they know what to do, and they know how to do it. It's just they don't necessarily do it at the first time. Something like that. I don't mind that kind of learning curve, but again, learning cliffs, no. And the last one for today is from Snuzzles. Do you think religious practices, virtues, and restrictions dictate society and government, or should society and government dictate and restrict religion? It's kind of a weird question, but if you don't know already, I'm not religious at all. I just don't follow religion of any kind because I feel like man-made institutions are just, they're going to be flawed no matter what. And so when you have all these different religions saying, oh, we're better than so-and-so, or we're better than this, and we're better than that, and if you're not following us, you're going to burn in hell for all eternity, blah, blah, blah. That's why I don't follow religion. I'm tired of all that bullshit. Just, yeah. But, do I feel like society should dictate religion, or should religion dictate society? I feel like religion is a dinosaur, and it doesn't really understand itself even these days. It's like they're struggling to find an identity in the modern world, where everything is changing radically on them, and they're just like, what do we do with this? So I've always believed in a separation between church and state. There should never be such a thing as a state religion. And moreover, a state should never dictate, hey, this religion cannot be followed just for arbitrary reasons. I don't mind people following religion. What I do mind is when it spills over and dictates policies and such like that. And the same goes for government with religion, for that matter, because people should be free to believe whatever they want to believe. But the moment you start dictating to them what they should believe, that's a problem. And that's also why I don't like religion. Anyway, yeah, it's a weird situation where I don't feel like either of them really should dictate the other. They should just be completely separate entities. Anyway, that was Q&A 46. Make sure to keep asking questions. I need questions for the next Q&A. Lots of questions, please. Just questions. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in later videos.